Hi my YouTube friends, if I'm crazy, you're out of your mind. We're in the handyman zone. I'm Dino Pinch. Today we're going to be messing with this doorknob that has seen better days, and this is actually like what they call a lever knob. It's not a round knob, it's a lever knob, and it just doesn't spring back anymore, so we're going to replace the whole thing. Picked up a replacement lever knob because the whole house is lever knobs, so we don't want to go put an oddball in here. This is what they call a hall and closet knob. It doesn't have a lock on it. Like a bed and bath knob would have a turn button on one side, or an entrance lock would have a key on the outside and a turn button on the inside. This is a hall and closet. It doesn't have any lock on it because they have a deadbolt on this door. This is the garage out here. And they have a deadbolt on it, so they're comfortable using the deadbolt, and they don't want a lock on this, so they don't have to worry about having an extra key and getting rekeyed or getting it lost or whatever. So I plan on doing this whole job with this Phillips head screwdriver. Although to get the old knob off, and you'll find that different manufacturers are going to have different ways of getting their knobs off. Some just have two screws on this bezel plate here. Some have a little spring latch hidden underneath that you got to push in with a small bladed screwdriver, slip the whole handle off the lock mechanism, then take this trim plate off, then you can get to the two screws. This one happens to use an Allen key underneath. Loosen it up, pull this off, pull the whole handle off, pull the trim plate off, then we can get to the two screws. So excuse me for a second, my crazy friends, while I put my eyes on, and let's find this Allen key underneath here. But besides from this Allen key, I plan on doing this whole job with just that Phillips head screwdriver. So I loosened it up a turn, and this comes off. This is nice solid brass. This is going in the scrap bucket. Okay, then this can come off, this trim ring here, bezel, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes they unscrew, sometimes they pull straight off. Now we can get to these two screws here, which will effectively let us take the whole lock out of the door. 1, 2, follow along because we're going to be moving quick here. It's an easy job. Any one of you guys can tackle it. Ladies, men, teenagers, whoever. Okay. Alright, so we got the inside off. The outside's just sitting there. I could just basically just push it through, but I want to open the door and catch it. Okay? Okay. Alright, here it is. Now, we have two screws here on the edge of the door, which is going to take our strike. They call this the strike. I'm getting bad lighting effect here. They call this the strike. So there's two screws that we can... Now the one thing I see a lot of people make a mistake, homeowners, first timers, when they're putting in a lock, is this strike, as you can see, has a bevel, an angle to it. That is so when you close it, as it closes against the strike in the jamb, it pushes itself down. A lot of people put this in backwards. Then when it closes against this straight part, and it can't close all the way unless you twist the knob and push it closed. And people just don't realize that. So that's the one issue I see with people. The next thing I like to bring to your attention, if your door isn't drilled with this 2 3/8, which is basically the standard hole for locks for like the last 20 or 30 years, but in older houses you'll see just a little hole. You would have to get yourself a jig like this at the hardware store or home center, screw it into where you pull the lock strike out, and then using, which comes with it, the proper size hole drill, you would drill it out to this size. If you don't get the guide, because there's already a little hole there, if you put this in your drill and try to drill, you got nothing to guide you. So you need the jig. Okay, having said that, let's open this. We're gonna put the strike in first. These new locks come with all the screws and hardware you need. Here is our new strike. Okay, and again, watch that angle. We want that so it closes and it pushes itself in. So it's gonna go like that. Now a lot of these, let me say also, a lot of these, they have what they call a setback, where the center of this hole is set back from the edge of the door. It's either 2 3/8 or 2 3/4. Most of these modern locks, this striker is adjustable. On this particular one, you pull up, if I could show you, you pull up right here, you pull this up, and you can slide this in and out to get your adjustable, can you see that? To get your adjustable setback, okay? So you basically want this D-shaped hole in the middle, or you can even measure if you want. You can measure from the edge of the door to the middle of the hole, 2 3/8 setback. That's the short setback. So we've cocked this into the inner position. Again, we're putting it in. If you find that that this hole isn't big enough, you're gonna have to drill it out. Look at the instructions. It'll usually tell you 7/8 or a 1-inch drill, and you can just ream it out a little bit. Most of the time it's okay. It comes with all the screws and stuff. So we're just going to take 2 of these short little ¾ inch brass screws, or faux brass screws, and we're going to start them with our fingers in the holes from the old one. And then just snug them up. I know I'm getting a bad lighting effect from the sunshine outside, but we're almost done. Okay, there's our strike. Now we're going to put our handles on. Take them out of the box. Now I'm just going to close this gently. I don't want it to close all the way and click, but if it did, I could either stick the lock in there and click and pull open, or stick a screwdriver or something in there. Now, this one too also has the Allen key. So I've loosened up the Allen key. I can take the handle off. You can play it off by holding the back and just rotating like 1/8 of a turn until the little tabs lined up with the slots in the mounting bracket, and then it just slid right off. So now we're going to open the door. We're going to take the what would we call this? The active side or the passive side, and we're going to put it through. We're going to put that D slot you see right in front of your face there through the D hole in the striker. If you have to, sometimes you can push this in and it makes it easier to get in. And we also are going to line up, we're going to line up the 2 bolt holes to go through the 2 holes in the strike plate. Then we simply, again with this D slot, and match it up. And I can just leave it there for a second while I get the 2 screws out of the package. Machine screws. And you'll find that most manufacturers these days kind of put a little kind of dull point at the end to help you get them through the holes and find, because it's a blind deal here, so you got to get it through here and into those 2 shafts that we just stuck through the striker. So it's kind of like a blind deal. So they give you those little kind of find it. I'm going to hold it from the back side, kind of line it up from the front side, and kind of feel it. That one went right in because of the little finders at the end of the screws. Now with that Phillips head, we're going to snug these up and we're almost done. Just have to put the trim on. So you can see this goes quite easy, and even if it's a bathroom, a bed and bath with a lock on it, it's just as easy. If it's an entrance with a key, it's just as easy. And if you want to redecorate and do over your house, especially some of the elderly people like to have these lever locks. If they have an arthritis or something like that, the round knobs get hard to operate. What I'm doing is I'm just pushing this up to cover that paint line so it looks nice and neat. Just a little bit. Then I'm going to tighten it. The final tightening. Take our trim. We're going to line up that notch with the slot that you'll find, and then twist it a little bit so it locks in place. Okay, now we're going to take our knob and our Allen key and just tighten that up to hold it on there. And the job is done. And as I look in the package, they actually give you an Allen key in the package. Also, some doors don't take this square on the striker. They take this round thing, which is also included, and there's instructions in the package on how to get this square thing off and put the round thing on. It's very easy, and then you just slip it in there, no screws. This is like a friction fit in that case. They also give us a new jam striker. I'm going to take a look at this one. If it matches up the same, I'm going to win. Well, actually, they're missing their jam striker. So here's the jam striker for their deadbolt, and for the lock we just put in, it's gone, which just chews up the wood. So we're going to put this one, was included, we're going to put this one in here and take care of that issue. They'll usually give you a longer screw. These are like 1.25 inches. For the jam, just so if anyone tries to, but see, this bottom lock isn't a locking lock. It's a hall and closet, so it really doesn't matter if we put the long screws in or the short screws in. But if this was indeed an entrance lock, maybe a good idea to put these longer screws in case someone tries to kick your door down. Instead of doing it in one kick, it would take 2 kicks. Okay, it's nothing like putting a couple of 1.25 inch screws into wood to loosen up your muscles in the morning. Yep, see? It's like doing a bunch of curls. Closes on its own. Deadbolt works. And our new installation works. Easy job, like I said. Guys, girls, women, you know. I get really encouraged when I hear newbies are tackling jobs because of my videos successfully. And I really enjoy that part of my YouTube career. So listen, you crazy out of your mind people, thanks for watching today. I'm Dino Pinch. This is my Handyman Zone. Subscribe while you're here because it really helps me out. Rate the video. Leave any questions or comments in the box below. I or one of our other YouTube users will be glad to answer your questions. See you later.